Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And finally, thanks to Amazon Japan, I was able to get my hands on Transformers The Last Knight Cogman. Yes, since I got this from Amazon Japan, it is the Japanese release of the figure, but as was the case with all the other Last Knight figures released by Takara, there is no difference than the Hasbro version, except for the fact that, believe it or not, I ended up paying less money getting it from Japan than trying to get a U.S. release. This is an Aston Martin Vanquish, which is basically why I wanted the figure. My sister and I are big James Bond fans, and the Aston Martin Vanquish, if I'm not mistaken, appeared in Die Another Day, which was the last film with Pierce Brosnan. Really like the car. Thought it looks really cool. And, as all of you know, of course, it does feature the Headmaster of Cogman that I have sitting in the driver's side, because this is a European car, right? And you can see through the windshield. Unfortunately, I was not able to peg him in due to the fact that I have sausage fingers, and the fact that I think the paint on the post was a little too thick to go into the ports in the bottom of his feet, or the ports on the bottom of his feet weren't wide enough. Either way, I just have him sitting in there. So, yeah, I mean, you know this car by now. Most other reviewers got the figure early enough, so, you know, nothing really much to see. A lot of parts underneath. You got Excalibur stored as the exhaust. I probably just turned Cogman over. So we'll pause. I'll get Cogman out, and we'll take a closer look at the Headmaster. Okay, so here's Cogman, the Headmaster. We all know the story that apparently this was supposed to be featured in the movie. It got cut at the last minute. He was supposed to switch heads with Nitro, or actually just take Nitro's head off and take Nitro's body. That's why Nitro has a removable head. Woefully underpainted like every other Titan Master in the Titans Return line, until you get to the face. And the sides here, actually, I should say the sides here do look very nice. You do get a cohesive look there with the gears and the weathering. And there's Cogman's a giant robot head. Very nice. I do think this was a nice attempt by Hasbro to go for some line cohesion between the different Transformers lines, generations, and movie. So, yeah, unfortunately on mine, as you can see, there is a little bit of gappage there. Something's not bending all the way, but it doesn't affect the the head going to the robot mode, which we're going to get to right now. Okay, so I've gone ahead and, as you can see, removing Cogman, I opened the canopy there. You do want to come underneath here and remove Excalibur. It just pegs into the base here. And get that out of the way. Next step, what you want to do is come in, bring that whole back section up, and then finish folding this back and over. It should just kind of clip into place there, so it'll, you know, just flop around. Next, what you can do is separate the legs. That, of course, will start just freeing everything else up. Go ahead. What you want to do is bring these panels out, flip that in, then flip this back and around, bringing out the foot section. Oh, maybe I should have done the foot section. Oh, God. Bring out the foot section first. Sorry. Then you have that, and then just go ahead and fold those panels in. That will close up along the rear, and just get the legs done just like that. Repeat that on this side. I'm probably rotating. Yes, I'm rotating these backwards, so you just want to make sure that the legs face this way. I'm sorry, I do apologize for the mistakes. Then what you want to do is, and be very careful, flip up this crotch plate. I have had people tell me who've gotten the Japanese version that it does break. I haven't had any problems, but just because I've been lucky doesn't mean you will. Take your time, be careful. Next, what you want to do is, we can just go ahead and flip this chest plate down or pop it off its little nub right there, and just like fold the peg down, and then snap this back into place and peg it into the chest, just like so. Come up to the front here, and then this gets a little crazy here. I think you got to remove, unpeg the what will be the shoulders from the hood here. You can maybe get those out of the way, give you some room to work with. The whole hood section here of the car raises up slightly so that it can rotate. So then what you do is you then flip the front bumper in, rotate it around, and then close it back down. You then can bring up this back section just like that. All sits flush against the back there. So we're just about done. Go ahead and separate the arms here from the shoulders. There's a little tab and there's a slot there, so you can bring up the shoulder bits. You can position them however you want. A lot of people tend to lay them down further. Come into the hands here, flip them out, closing up the forearm, just like so. You basically now have a headless robot, so you can then come in, take a Cogman, and just drop them in, and bingada, bangada, booma, you got Cogman in its robot mode. So, yep, there you go. No difference whatsoever from the Hasbro version. But I thought maybe the shoulders were a little darker, but they're not. So we'll just pause. Articulation, you all know, ball joints, shoulders, ball joints, hips, swivel at the bicep, double, single jointed elbows, yada, yada, yada. I'm sure you've seen a dozen reviews on this guy already, and you're probably not even watching mine. So we'll just pause, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Cogman is by far and away the best deluxe in the Last Night line. So, of course, it was the hardest figure to find. I'm glad I got it. I do enjoy it. It was fun to transform. I think out of all the Knights, it's the best looking. It actually looks like a robot. It actually looks like a traditional Transformer, which I think has a lot to do with the fact that it's a Headmaster. So you have that going. But definitely worth the pickup. I got this figure from Amazon Japan. I think as of this recording, it's still in stock there, so it is available for international shipping. Again, if you haven't been able to find a Cogman in the United States at brick and mortar retail, you getting it from Amazon Japan will be cheaper than buying it off of eBay or even Amazon US, because people are charging upwards of $45 to $50, if not more, to get this figure. And a deluxe Transformer in 2017, 2018 just isn't worth that much money. This is your old pal Chuck for Cogman. We will see you next time.